What's up, YouTube? It's Jeremiah, aka Analog Set, and I'm bringing you my gaming history part 2, I guess. And what I wanted to talk about here is I wanted to go a little more in depth as to my love-hate relationship with first-person shooters and how it started. So basically, I was in 7th grade or so. I was like 11, I believe. And yeah, I was 11 because I have a summer birthday. So. I was 11 during the school year, a year younger than all my classmates. And there's this one kid, he was like a friend of a friend named Duncan, and he was in my class, or some of my classes. We weren't really like good friends or anything, and I don't know, he was kind of a douche sometimes. I don't know, he was one of those like rich snobby kids that just thought like that made him better than everyone else. I don't know. But he knew that I was kind of good with computers. Like, I wasn't like super good, but I think he wanted me to install MIRC onto his computer so he could like download stuff. This was back before like BitTorrents and stuff like that, when MIRC was like the place to download stuff. And I mostly used it to like download anime and stuff that wasn't being released and was currently airing in Japan and stuff. But let's not go into that. I used to be a really big geek. Well, I'm still a pretty big geek. Well, okay, anyways, that's besides the point. um, so yeah, when I was working on his computer and whatnot, I noticed his little brother was playing this first-person shooter on this computer, and it looked amazing. Like, I could not stop watching it, and I wanted to play it, and I was asking him all these questions. I was like, "What is this game?" "Oh, it's a game called Counter-Strike." "Oh, really? Cool. Like, tell me about it." And "Oh yeah, it's from this game called Half-Life, and like someone made a mod and you can play online." And that right there, I was like, "Wait, you're playing against other people?" "Yeah, online." "Uh-huh. Like around the world?" "Yeah." And like that just totally blew my mind because at that point, all I'd really known was just console shooters. I hadn't really been exposed to PC gaming at that point too much. I knew of it, but I just mostly what I'd heard of it was like MMOs and stuff like that, and I didn't really have an interest to find out about them or look any further. I have since then, and I can see how they're so addicting. Yeah. Anyways, so I just really got into it, but at the time, I didn't have a computer that was strong enough to run Counter-Strike. Even though it wasn't that demanding, my computer was just that bad. It was a compact Rosario piece of crap that's all you need to know is a compact. It was horrible. So what I used to do is I used to hit up LAN cafes a lot. There used to be a Wizards of Coast in the mall. It's since gone, but they had like a 32 LAN set up. There was a place in the U District that had a big LAN cafe. I mean, there was a few places here and there. There was even this little place by my house. It was like a card shop, and they had 4 computers, 4 or 5. And, it was the cheapest place in town, and it was right down the road from my house. It was called Broken Games. And, the guys there were really cool. They're all really nerdy and awesome. And, I would just go in there almost on a daily basis, and I think it was like $5 for an hour or something like that. And I would just get like $5 or $10 from my mom, 20 if I was lucky, and I would just go there. And I became such a regular that like even when my time did run out, like my hour was up, if there wasn't a queue and nobody was waiting to play the computers, they would just let me keep playing. They're like, "Yeah, dude, go for it." And they'd only kick me off if someone who was actually going to pay money came into play. But that didn't always happen, and sometimes I would just stay there and close the place out. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous how much time I was spending there just playing Counter-Strike. But eventually, I was able to get my computer that could run it, a decent computer. And even when I did have a computer, I'd still go to LAN cafes, especially when I got really, really good. I mean, this is probably like 3 years into playing it, maybe 4, when I was getting kicked out of servers on a regular basis just because people thought I was hacking. And, I'd go to LAN cafes, and, if enough people were playing, we'd try and get a LAN together. And, when you're playing on a LAN, there's absolutely no lag, no latency whatsoever. It's just all super smooth and nice, and, you're never gonna like wonder if, oh, that was just because of the lag or something. And here I am, this like 14 year old kid, and I'm playing with like a bunch of 20-something-year-olds and college students, and they all think they're hot shit, or they've got like their clan mates with them or something, and here's this little kid just talking a bunch of mad trash to him and stuff. I mean, of course it's all kind of like a mental game too. If you can get in their heads, you can just own them. Like even before you ever fire a bullet, you just know they're owned because they're doubting themselves, they're frustrated, and yeah. But it's I don't do that so much anymore. I mean, unless like a kid on a mic is just being a total retard or douchebag. I don't really trash talk anymore. Just there's no point to it, and it'll if anything. I've noticed that if you actually get into like a really heated debate, sometimes it can backfire, and it'll kind of get in your head a little bit, and they just annoy you that much. So I just figure I try to use my mic for good now, as opposed to telling them how bad they are at the game. But yeah, Counter-Strike, that really opened the door for other first-person shooters, and I had an Xbox, and I played a good amount of the shooters that came out on that. I did not play any of the console Call of Duties until Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4 came out. But I do recall the very first Call of Duty that came out, and I had it on the PC, because it was a PC game originally. It was only on PC. But I remember being very impressed because it did things that other games hadn't done, like aiming down sights. Call of Duty was the first game that I recall to do that. The first shooter that let you actually look through the iron sights of your gun and see what that gun looks like when you're aiming down sight. And I thought that was ridiculously cool. Just little innovations like that. And Call of Duty 4, that was my first step into the console shooter. Xbox Live. I finally caved, and I bought an Xbox Live card. Like a 12-month card, and just so I wouldn't have to like worry about monthly payments and whatnot. And I got Modern Warfare, and I just played the hell out of that game. I mean, I played it a ridiculous amount, and I loved it. That game was awesome, and I think a lot of people in the community have very fond memories of that game. I mean, I know a lot of people still go back and play it. A lot of commentators. If I can talk, they'll still occasionally post a Call of Duty 4 video, just for the hell of it, for nostalgia's sake, if only. But it is a very solid game, and it is very balanced. Modern Warfare 2 was a lot of hype, but I mean, it was really good, and it had a lot of great things about it, but it was by no means perfect. And if it was played in a certain style, it could definitely be unbalanced. Okay, I'm out of time once again, and I'll probably continue this later on if you guys liked it. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments or whatever. Thanks for watching. Peace.